Ready? Okay. Let's go ahead and call the Johnston City Council meeting number 24-5 to order. Cindy, roll call, please.
Councilmember Cope.
Here.
Evans.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Ready.
Here.
Burkhart.
Here.
I want to welcome everyone that is in the audience this evening. If you're here for an item that is on the agenda, we would ask for you to wait for that item to come up and address the council at that time. If you're here for an item that is not on the agenda, there will be an opportunity under public communications to address the council. The next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. And Christine, you want to lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the agenda approval. Mike, are there any changes to the agenda?
None this evening, Mayor.
Council, any changes? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Evans.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Burkhart.
Yes.
Cope.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to public communications. We have no scheduled public communications this evening. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council? Anybody online, Cindy? Seeing none, we'll move on to public hearings. We have two public hearings. First one, 4A, conduct a public hearing on the matter of adoption of plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the city parking lot rehabilitation, and consider resolution number 24-61, adopting plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost. We'll consider the construction bids. We'll also consider resolution number 24-62, making award of construction contract, and resolution number 24-67, approving construction contract and bond. And we'll open this public hearing at 7:10. Matt.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. On Friday, February 21st, the city received bids for the Johnston parking lot improvements at the Public Works facility shown on the map. This was a record for me. We had 27 bidders on the project. The engineer's opinion of probable cost with the base bid as well as the alternative was $246,401. The low bid received was $175,000. Certified bid tab shows Concrete Connections was the low bidder. Staff and the engineer do recommend approval of the project. We have previously worked with Concrete Connections. They did the Pioneer Parkway Trail as well as phase 2 of the Lou Clarkson project. So be happy to answer any questions.
Council have any questions for Matt?
So Matt, just as a reminder, are they putting concrete in an area that previously hadn't had concrete? Or are we tearing out and putting new in? Or what's
This is granular surfaced area, so it's rock, gravel. So it doesn't have the concrete, and per our ordinance, we should have concrete there. So we're just making ourselves compliant with our code.
Any other questions for Matt?
I just want to say thank you, Matt, for the 27 bids, because I'm going to download all those quotes and those unit prices and give it to our construction people up at Iowa State so that they'll know what the range of bids are. So this was great information to have. And the sidewalk one too is going to be really useful to me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
here to serve, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I wish we'd have had as many bidders on our sidewalk program, but we did okay.
I thought you did okay too.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:12. Do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-61?
I move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Martin.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Burkhart.
Yes.
Cope.
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Motion passed. Do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-62?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Ready.
Yes.
Burkhart.
Yes.
Cope.
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Motion passed. And do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-67?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second, discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Coe?
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to item 4B, conduct a public hearing on the matter of adoption of plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the 2023 sidewalk improvements, and consider resolution number 24-63, ratifying, confirming, and approving change in deadline for submission of bids and posting of revised notice to bidders. Resolution number 24-64, adopting plan specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost. Consider construction bids and consider resolution number 24-65, making award of construction contract. And we'll open this public hearing at 7:13. Matt?
On February 28th, the city did receive bids for the 2023 sidewalk improvement project in the Green Meadows neighborhood. We had 5 bidders on the project, and the engineer's opinion of probable cost was $167,365. The low bid received was $162,304. So the breakdown on the bid per panel replacement cost is approximately $280. We did get some really good pricing for our sidewalk per panel price. Certified bid tab does show Rams Construction was the low bidder, and staff and the engineer would recommend approval of the project. Once again, we've previously worked with Rams just as recently as the Merle Hay and Johnston Drive intersection project. They were not the prime, but they did do all of the trails, sidewalks, and driveway approaches down there, so we have experience with those folks.
Any questions for Matt?
So Matt, I noticed we also, looks like we have some 6-inch concrete, which is some ramps, is that right? And we had done some ramps previously. Were these prices quite on the 6-inch ramps similar to what we did previously?
I would say that they were probably a little bit more expensive because it was the only 6-inch concrete on this project.
Okay, so it's a little hard, maybe it's a little hard to compare, okay.
Yeah, so on our last ramp project, on our Green Meadows West project, we had one set of ramps that did not get corrected that we rolled into this project. So we did have some pricing for some 6-inch concrete just to correct those ramps while we're in the neighborhood doing all of that work. So yeah, I would say that it was probably a little bit higher just due to the one ramp, and the ramp work is a little bit more, it's a little harder, so.
But this at least gives us kind of our first time, this is our first time through on the regular sidewalk program, right? So as we move forward, because obviously one of the big questions everybody has is, if I go through the city program, how much it's going to cost, and I mean, even obviously it will bid it every time, right? So it won't be the same every time, but at least we have a first rough idea
Right.
of what we're looking at cost-wise.
And we did, speaking of those ramps and those projects, we did pull that cost out of that number prior to figuring that per panel price. We didn't include that in that per panel price. So we did pull those out and then figured that per panel price down that we got at approximately $280. So the city is covering those those ramps just like we did in the original project.
Is that like the 500,000 or so that we set aside each year for sidewalks? Is that part of that used for these costs of the ramps then?
Right, it's used for the ramps as well as the sidewalks. The sidewalks will get reimbursed for. When we send the invoice, they'll have 30 days to pay that. And then if not, then we'll assess the property and it'll go on their property taxes. So we'll be fronting that money and then recouping it. The ramps, we did decide in our sidewalk program that the ramps are a city cost, so.
Any other questions for Matt? If not, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:17. Do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-63?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, discussion. Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Coe?
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Burkhart?
Yes.
Motion passed. Do we have a resolution to, do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-64?
I move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes,
Ready?
Yes.
Burkhart?
Yes.
Cope?
Yes.
Motion passed. And do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-65?
so moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes,
Ready?
Yes.
Burkhart?
Yes.
Cope?
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to the consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
so moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Ready?
Yes.
Burkhart?
Yes.
Cope?
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes,
Motion passed. Moving on to the non-consent agenda. Consider approval of the third reading and to adopt and publish ordinance number 1112, an official zoning map amendment for 58.356 acres from PUD to E1 and E2. Subject properties are located northeast of the intersection of Northwest 54th Avenue and Northwest 100th Street. PZ case 23-20. Clayton.
No changes since second reading and no additional public comments received.
Any questions for Clayton? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve third and final reading and to adopt and publish?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Cope?
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Martin?
yes,
Ready?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 7B, consider approval of the following items related to PC case 24-02. The preliminary plat and the final plat for Johnston Golf Plat 1. The subject property is located at 5055 Earl Hay Road. Resolution number 24-56, a resolution approving the preliminary plat for Johnston Golf Plat 1. Resolution number 24-57, a resolution authorizing execution of mortgage holders' consent to plat certificate related to Johnston Golf Plat 1. Resolution number 24-58, a resolution approving the final plat for Johnston Golf Plat 1. And resolution number 24-59, a resolution accepting construction of public improvements within Johnston Golf Plat 1. Clayton.
Johnston Golf Development LLC is proposing to subdivide 33.56 acres into 9 lots for commercial development and 2 lots that would be, or 2 outlots that would be unbuildable. I have the final plat pulled up here on the screen for you. You might recall we've approved the site plan for Bombers Golf and Family Entertainment Center, which would be located on Lot 8 and Lot 9 with common area elements such as parking and egress on Lot 5. Sort of the background of why the lots are split this way is primarily insurance purposes for floodplain insurance. The golf driving range itself, that is on Lot 9, can be located within the floodplain, but the building itself will be located outside of the floodplain primarily for insurance purposes. The other lots are utilizing some postage stamp outlines, so the common area, the Lot 5, would service multiple lots for parking, egress, utilities, but then the individual building pads could be individually owned themselves. We do have a mortgage on the property. When we did the development agreement, David or Adam, Josh, I still call him Adam on occasion. They could probably give you a little more background on how that came about. And they did install the public improvements, which consists of a water main and sanitary sewer along the southwestern portion, which is intended to service the future canoe kayak launch to Beaver Creek. And those have been installed and inspected by Public Works. With that, I believe that wraps up the bulk of my comments. Try and keep it a little brief for you. Happy to go further detail or answer questions as needed. Planning and Zoning Commission is recommending approval.
Council, any questions for Clayton?
I do, Mayor. I don't have so much a question about the plat, but my concern is, the last time we saw a detailed plan, of the hotel, the golf club, and the mini golf club. The concern I had was the proposed realignment of the trail was going to brush right by the parking lot, almost like the cars of the parking lot, and then there would be the trail. And I guess my concern is, I didn't want the trail to feel like it's running through a parking lot. I feel like there needs to be some green space between the two. So at whatever time, if you want to show me what the last, if you can give to the council maybe the last set of drawings that we had for that. If it's too late, I'm hoping it's not, to make a small change like that. But I feel like by moving this existing trail, we've cleared a lot of trees. We're taking away a trail that was very nice, went through the shaded wood, and now we've got it brushing by all these car fronts. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know where we're at, but I'm hoping they're still willing to have a discussion about making that just a little bit nicer for the trail, because the trail's a big deal. It's gonna bring them a lot of people using our trails to that site. I just don't want it to look like it's a parking lot.
Yeah, and we have a representative of the applicant. They can certainly chime in as well. I will note that really the only location that it would be adjoining the parking is in this eastern portion that I'm going over with my cursor here. It is a limited duration, but it is adjoining the parking. The areas on, what is that, lots 3 and 4, they do not have any approved approved improvements yet, so that would still need to go through site plan review and approval from Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council. So there still is an opportunity to have those discussions and flush out that design, though the trail alignment itself is pretty well locked in per the original site plan approval, and would be further locked in with the establishment of the new trail easement on this plat. But the actual improvements adjoining it do have some flexibility. And I don't know if Nate, if you had anything you wanted to add on that, you don't necessarily need to.
Yeah, my name is Nate Frangie, representing Bombers and Johnston Golf Development, 605 Northwest Harvest Court in Grimes. Yeah, we would be more than willing to have the conversation as far as what that trail alignment or what that parking lot looks like for Lot 4. Right, as Clayton mentioned, it hasn't been designed yet. And so there will be some opportunities to kind of work through what that design looks like. We do have some constraints with wetlands on the east side that we're working with as well. And then there's been some discussions as far as that acquisition from Hy-Vee on the west side. And so there's a few things that we need to work out before we finalize that design for lots 3, excuse me.
I don't know if you've been on this project since the beginning, but in the earlier plans, there was a lot more green space and, suggestion of planting areas around that trail. And then, but when it gets down to an engineering plan where you're trying to get as many parking spaces as possible, things change. I understand that, but it's going to be a really great place. It's going to get a lot of the, traffic from Johnston, and I think it needs to be addressed. My second question is, I can't really tell from the plans, but it almost looks like the sidewalk that you have leading from Merle Hay Road, the main sidewalk you have from Merle Hay Road, moving east into the site is quite large. Is it even larger than the trail that we have that runs north and south along Merle Hay Road? I'm probably picking on details that you didn't expect to have happen here. And we don't have to answer it here, but I'm just, it would kind of be weird if the way I'm reading these plans, that the sidewalk that enters the site is 10-foot wide, and the sidewalk that is the main circulation along Merle Hay Road is 8-foot wide. I'm asking a question.
Yeah, Ms. Martin, could you elaborate? Is this a sidewalk towards the north end or the
It's
north
the one
side.
that's, it's toward the north end. It turns off of Merle Hay Road and goes directly east into the site. It was on, in the staff report, I think it'd be sheet number 16. No, it's not 16, is it?
I believe it's 16 that, are you referring to this sidewalk right here?
Yes,
There's a green space between the drive aisle and the sidewalk.
and that's great, but I'm just saying, it almost looks like that sidewalk is as wide as a boulevard, a road. And then the north-south sidewalk that's on the street, on Merle Hay Road, what is that width?
A 10-foot trail. This is, might be a 6-foot. I'd have to verify that, but it's no wider than the Merle Hay Road trail.
But
which is-
isn't okay, thank you for that answer. The other question I have, is not our trail system on the east side of Merle Hay Road?
Yes.
And how wide are those sidewalks, Matt? Okay,
Yeah, so along Merle Hay, our trail was 8 feet. It's 10-foot drive, 10-foot wide trail.
okay.
Yeah. so
That
this
looks
sidewalk-
generous. I'm just, it's nice, but it's quite wide. I guess what I'm saying is, are people gonna take that, they're gonna come down Merle Hay Road on the trail sidewalk that's on the east side, and then are they gonna see this sidewalk here and turn and then try and get to our trail?
It's-
Maybe they would.
Yeah, I'm choose not to
I'm just-
speculate on what people will.
Well, you could probably do something with some signage.
I think signage and another look at the width of the sidewalks to know what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to keep in mind is the pedestrian traffic that we're anticipating coming across the street.
I was wondering if that's why it's so wide, that you're anticipating a flood of traffic coming across the street.
That
don't
would be
know.
a good thing.
It would be a good thing. I'm not sure, though.
One thing we did do on our intersection project is we did continue that 8-foot trail. It does continue down in front of Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh and does make a connection to the trail at that point next to Beaver Creek. So there is a trail connection in our project that does continue south and meets up with our trail.
It's not built yet.
Oh, it's built.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, we constructed it with the Merle Hay and Johnston Drive intersection.
I'm picking on you. That's what I do. Sorry.
I do want to back up to a comment or a comment question you made about plantings. And there will be additional planting plans coming before the council per the development agreement. Those have just not been fleshed out because there was the conflicts with the Des Moines Waterworks main and where was that ultimately going to land. That needed to be resolved prior to determining what plantings were going to be. So that will be forthcoming. And then you would see additional plans with the canoe kayak launch, which would involve the DOT parcel as well. So
And
there
then
are
there's-
different components
Right.
of it, but you are correct. There is additional plantings. Those are forthcoming.
And then there's the additional there was a certain agreement about extra money put into planting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm referring to. The Des Moines Waterworks alignment needed to really be flushed out because we didn't want to go make a plan and then they come back in and rip them all out. So
Do you see any more substantial tree clearing with the water line project and this realignment? Because I looked on the aerial and looked like it had already been graded almost to the edge of the site.
the Des
Yeah,
Moines.
that's not current. Or is
I believe this is a 23, but the Des Moines Waterworks project will involve significant tree removal in this location as well as other locations along the entire route. It's a pretty large main that they can't have trees within their easement to be able to allow them, one, to install it, but ongoing maintenance. So yes, there will be additional removals, but there will also be new plantings coming in, granted smaller, but there will be
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions for Matt? If not, do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-57?
Mayor, there was a public comment, I think, in the back.
I'm sorry. I just had a question. You want to come forward and give us your name and I apologize. No, I should have asked if there was any comments from the audience.
Yes, I'm in.
Give us your name and address.
Kevin Slater, 35 First Street, Johnston, Iowa. This last comment, I saw that map and I was just wondering where the kayak, in relationship to Beaver Creek, where that kayak launch was and public parking and all that.
Here comes Clayton behind you.
Sure.
I'm going to use the aerial vicinity map. The design of the canoe kayak launch has not been finalized yet.
Okay.
It's in progress.
Okay.
The city did purchase a half acre from the gas station parcel here that's just outside the hash.
Okay.
That's the intended location for the canoe kayak launch. There's ongoing discussions with the Iowa DOT, who owns this parcel immediately to the south,
All
that
right.
we'll need to work through to get to the creek. So
Gotcha.
there's ongoing conversations there. Design is in progress. There'd be additional details forthcoming.
Okay. And that would include public parking and public access to that as well.
Yeah, the intent is that parking would be provided on the bomber site. We have a development agreement that they have to provide a certain number of parking spaces,
Okay.
both passenger vehicles as well as some trailer spaces as well.
Cool.
Are you an outfitter, kayaker?
I do like the kayak and I've wanted to do this, but on Northwest 70th, there's one spot put in, but the next spot down would be along Sailorville.
Actually, there's one at Luke
Oh,
Clark's.
no, yeah, yeah,
This will be our third one.
okay, cool, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience who would like to make a comment to the council? If not, do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-57? 56.
So moved. Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Cope,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Burkhart.
Yes.
Motion passed. Do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-57?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Member Evans,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Burkhart,
Yes.
Cope.
Yes.
Motion passed. Do we have a motion to approve resolution number 24-58?
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Burkhart,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Motion passed. And do we have a motion to pass, motion to approve resolution number 24-59?
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Ready,
Yes.
Burkhart,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 7C, consider approval of claims in the amount of $926,567.70.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Cindy, vote please.
Councilmember Burkhart,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to city administrator staff comments. Anything else, Mike?
Two quick comments. Communications Department did distribute this evening a calendar of events for this summer. I think the great work they did putting this together also should acknowledge the great work our staff throughout the city organization will be doing to put on these events. So a lot to do, a lot to see. And then I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge at least Teresa's last evening with us.
Is that tonight?
That is tonight.
We should keep her here longer.
I agree.
Mayor.
There is no
Looks like-
adjournment
is
until
it-
11.
Is there like a collection
stay till
plate in front of
11.
her? What is that sign over there?
The hearing assistants.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, 18 years with the city of Johnston, 44 years in public service. I mean, it's just a true testament of a great public service. So congratulations, Teresa. That is all I have this evening.
I just want to say, Teresa, you should have said, I almost called on you to give the Pledge of Allegiance. But I thought
We
maybe
could do
you
it
had-
again.
Well, we could. You just can't say the pledge too
How
often.
about sing the anthem?
That's really hard.
But I don't know why you kept it a secret up until the end. I mean, we could have hazed you and harassed you and done all kinds of things.
That's why
to
she
you.
kept it a secret.
But you did have, I thought the breakfast that the staff put on for you last week was absolutely amazing. A lot of good turnout for that, a lot of nice comments made, and I really appreciated hearing your comments as you're departing from us. So we do wish you all the best. We know that you're still a resident of Johnston. That's the most important thing. So we'll see you around town. But don't, retirement is supposed to be retirement. It's not supposed to be just moving to another job. So I would encourage you to, think beyond going to work every day and actually start enjoying your life, because, you just don't know how much longer you're going to be able to do that. So I would strongly encourage you to start thinking that way. So anyway, we'll miss you. But we'll know that you're off doing bigger and better things. And we'll see you. Councilman Evans.
I just wanted to welcome our new massage place and the
Oh,
and the smoke shop on Merle Hay. That's all I got. Haven't been there yet, but
I am
see
told
that
that
they're
it's
there.
a legitimate operation, even though the name of it is Hush.
That's not you're not talking about the smoke place.
No,
There's
this is the new massage.
I know, but evidently,
Yeah.
Mike, there's
No, there is actually a couple of new.
and we got the massage place and then we got the smoke shop.
Isn't there two?
There will be another one.
Smoke,
yes.
yeah. So if you need to vape, we can take care of you.
Car washes and smoke shops.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. Councilman Reddy.
I don't have anything else, but I forgot that today was your last day, Teresa. So just want to say. Last meeting, all right, if I don't meet you again, but say, thank you very much for working with us, making the budget process very clean and understandable. I remember the first day I met you, you walked me through a lot of slides and Excel sheets. I did not understand anything you said that day. That was 5 years ago. But since then, I learned quite a bit from you. So thank you for everything that you taught us and made understand how the budget works and everything else. And thank you for your service to the city. We appreciate you much. Thank you.
Councilman Coe.
Yeah, I just want to salute Teresa as well. There's a phrase sometimes you hear called a dedicated public servant. But I can't think of anybody who's more dedicated to their job and making sure that that everybody needs what they need to make the right decision than you. And so really appreciate always being there and being available for us to help us make the right decisions and giving us the right data and the information. You're a passionate member of our community and an advocate, and not only that, but you're continuing to help other communities around the state who aren't as blessed as we are with all the outstanding resources that we have. And so I know your good skills and judgments are helping a lot of other communities around the state, which I know they really appreciate. So thank you for everything you've done for us, and I thank you for everything you did for me as a council member too. It made me able to do my job a lot better, which I really appreciate. So thank you.
Councilman Burkhart.
I would want to say thank you as well, and I do want to say thank you as well. I don't want to repeat what's there, but frankly, one of the things that I want to comment on is you had a incredibly diplomatic way of always being able to give us a city answer and then also being able to give a Teresa answer as a resident and taxpayer of Johnston, but also someone who wanted to make sure that you were setting us up for success.
in the data that was provided and certainly in financial accounts and strategic ways to be able to spend that money, even if it was temporarily, so that we could make ends meet in those regards. And I am so grateful for that. I also don't want to brag, but I get to serve with her a little bit longer as she will continue to diligently help see the library director search position through. She's served as the city liaison to that search committee, and I am just so grateful that everyone has kind of agreed that they want her 2 cents. They want that Teresa opinion, and I get to hear it as well as we continue to narrow in on our finalists, because we're at a semifinalist, and those semifinal interviews are going to take place both tomorrow and Wednesday via Zoom. We're down to 7 candidates, and from there they will name hopefully the finalists within that search committee, and then things can become public at that point as we invite our finalists in. So we're making progress, and that's exciting. Other things real quickly. Congratulations to our girls state basketball team. Phenomenal finish to an undefeated season. They are amazing, talented young ladies. And quite frankly, we're spoiled in the state with so much good basketball, both men's and women's, and it arrives right here in our own community. Last thing I want to tease out, or I guess 2 other things. Congratulations to all our show choir teams as well in their regard. Good luck to our boys basketball team who will compete on Wednesday at state. And spring sports have actually begun already. So watch your step and watch your driving because I'm already seeing runners out and about, especially as they get their mileage in. And I guess watch for flying golf balls and tennis balls and everything else in between too, because those sports are kicking in gear. I'm just grateful for all of our staff and certainly all of our community.
Councilman Martin.
I always love following Councilman Burkhart. He covers everything and I just say ditto. So it works really good, except that he forgot to cover, go water your plants. I knew it was gonna rain. I also knew it was not going to rain enough. And I took a moisture probe out to my plant material, my perennial beds, and it's supposed to range from 0 to 10, 10 being like saturated. All of it was 0, no moisture down this far. And so water, if you've got evergreens especially, get those watered. I just think if you've got plantings that you put in the last 2 or 3 years, you should put some water on it. We're really low. Thanks.
And Councilwoman Martin, I'm always in the most disadvantaged position because I have to follow everyone else and everything has been said. But I too want to just congratulate our girls basketball team. They are truly amazing. And I chose not to go to the game because I didn't want to jinx them. I watched it on TV and I didn't want to do it that way, but I just felt it was more important that they win than I actually physically sit there and watch them play. So, but I watched them and they did an amazing job. And yes, we're all rooting for the boys as well. Let's bring them all home with a championship. So I'm assuming we're going to have the girls in at some point. And, hopefully we'll have the boys in as well. So anyway, is there anything else come before the council this evening? If not, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
You give far too much credit.